because it's going to be less time consuming for me than a full edit. And this is regarding the situation with Symone Sanders and Uncle Luke, and just the mess that this all entails. So Uncle Luke wrote a piece in the Miami New Times, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to gloss over the piece and tell you exactly what it says. It says, when she appeals, it says Kamala Harris will have trouble persuading Black voters to make her president in 2020. First, the U.S. Senator from California must explain why Donald Trump has a better prison reform record than she has as the Golden State's Attorney General. Then she'll have to overcome the perception she'll do anything to climb to the top. On the street, many blue-collar African Americans, especially men, have already made up their minds not to vote for her. Between 2004 and 2016, when Harris worked as San Francisco District Attorney and State Attorney General, she supported legislation that sent kids who skipped school to jail. I think it sent their parents to jail. I don't know that it really sent the kids to jail. And she opposed the federal supervision of California's prisons after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling declared the overcrowded facilities inflicted cruel and unusual punishment on inmates. This is what Uncle Luke wrote. When she appealed a court order to implement the new parole program, Harris cited the need to use prisoners as slave labor, fight wildfires, and pick up trash. Okay, that's pretty damning. Though Black voters wanted politicians who will put away thugs and killers terrorizing the neighborhood, they don't support those who deny defendants rehabilitation and send them to prison for crimes they didn't commit to line prison companies' pockets. Harris arose to prominence in California after an affair with married but separated former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, who recently wrote a column that mentioned their relationship. Brown said he influenced Harris's career by appointing her to two state commissions when he was California Assembly Speaker. He also helped her in her first race for San Francisco District Attorney. That's a nice way of saying that she swept her way to the top. When Harris, whose mother is from India and father is from Jamaica, but he's not Black, so that doesn't matter, she might be 25% Black, decided it was time to take her talents to Washington, D.C., she married Douglas Empott, a rich white lawyer. For better or worse, Black men don't want to vote for a Black woman who married a white man or who was the mistress of a powerful Black man. Like everyone else, Black voters want help from one of their own. The Bushes made sure their people got oil money. So Clinton left the telecommunications industry, gobble up small radio and TV stations. And Donald Trump is looking out for his developer buddies through tax cuts and opportunity zones that gentrify minority neighborhoods. He's also supporting, the white ones that are on drugs. Meanwhile, Harris has let Black people know they can't count on her. Well, that's because she's like 25% Black. So we need to stop thinking of her as a Black woman. Okay, that's what Uncle Luke had to say. Symone D. Sanders threw herself in the mix. I'm mad that she literally looks like a caricature of Mammy. That's what I'm mad about. And, the Mammy archetype is the one that was protective of the white master, right? She jumps in and she says, Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist. That's true. And then she goes south. Why do Black men keep popping up with their unsolicited opinions about Kamala Harris? So she's tripping. First and foremost, what does Uncle Luke have to do with Black men? I'm not a fan of Uncle Luke, and I'm going to show you why I'm not a fan of him. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Not that I should have to share this, because he's known far and wide, but for the people who don't know, right? Let me go ahead and share my screen. This is why I'm not a fan of Uncle Luke. Let's see if I could just do Uncle Luke. and go to videos. I don't have to go far. Well, hold on. Let's not watch that one. Let's just go to a two-leg clue video. I know a lot of people love this music, but I feel that Uncle Luke, as he's called, did a lot of damage to the Black community, right? And a lot of people said he's turned over a new leaf. I don't know, because I went to his Facebook page. Y'all can see I'm not on Facebook. And he's still putting up, and everybody knows I have an opinion of Black entertainers. And that's that they're not us. Okay. So he's still glorifying that time, right? It's his profile picture. These are from January. So he's still glorifying that time. He's still glorifying his relationships with people who are literally detrimental to the Black community with their behavior and their music. They're literally just pawns he used to push a narrative about Black people that's not true, and to infiltrate Black society to get us to emulate their sick behavior. And so when it comes to Uncle Luke, sorry, on this account I don't have premium. When it comes to Uncle Luke, I have to say that my overall problem with Uncle Luke is that we're about to see pretty much all of his videos, women are, this isn't even the worst of it. This is like early Uncle Luke, but in pretty much all of his videos, and it gets worse, Black women and white women, I'll say this, he's an equal opportunist with this stuff, right? He equally degrades all women. But my concern is what he does for Black women. So he's equal opportunity around the board with the degrading. But it did irreparable harm, in my opinion, near irreparable harm to the Black community. So many people emulated the work he did, which was essentially to make Black women prostitutes, right? And he's known far and wide for this. Like, this is the face of Uncle Luke. That's the face of him. What you see here, videos of women with their butts full on in the camera. And I mean, he's not the only one. So while I can't disagree with what he said about Kamala Harris, except for the fact that, honestly, you guys, I'm pretty sure that children weren't sent to jail. I think it was just their parents. He could be wrong, or I could be wrong. I do think that lumping him in with all other Black men is a problem. First and foremost, Black men can speak on anything they want. And he's talking from a Black male perspective. He said Black men aren't going to want to vote for her. It's real. A lot of them won't. I don't think any of us should, first and foremost. I mean, she was raised by a half-Black man who only identified the slave owner that owned his family. It was literally the only man he could talk about in a whole article. I mean, there's no verifiable connection between her family and this slave owner who founded a town in Jamaica, but her father was very hard for that connection. And so this is the man she was raised by. The most influential person in her life was an Indian diplomat, and we know how racist they are. Okay, they have a whole caste system. They don't even like Black people. And he was the most influential person in her life. She's known far and wide for making policies that are anti-Black because she's only like 25% Black. And if we don't stop calling this 25% Black woman Black, She's barely black. Her father's not even fully black. Her mother's not black at all. How we get black from that, I don't understand. So to a degree, I agree with Uncle Luke. Symone was way, 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 way out of place. Okay, she was. She should not speak on all black men, especially as a black woman. Uncle Luke can say whatever he wants. Even if I don't, first of all, I agree with what he said. But even if I didn't, even though I don't agree with the fact that he hasn't denounced all the trash he did back in the day that was harmful to our community, inarguably, he made a valid point. Anybody can make a valid point. Somebody's past doesn't stop them from being right sometimes. But more importantly, for a black woman to say that black men shouldn't give their unsolicited opinions, and Vicki Diller from Finding Being Clean did an excellent piece, where a white man told Symone to shut up, and she was in her feelings about it. He told her to shut up on national TV. Symone turned around and called him sir. Let me see if I can find the footage of this. Let me see if I can find this. Yes, I have found it. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you guys again in just a sec. After I give my fair use disclaimer, because YouTube plays the most games ever. So let me see if I can find the clip of it. I think I have. And I'll give my fair use disclaimer as well. Federal law allows. Okay, sorry, it started playing. Let me go ahead and give my fair use disclaimer, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys as well. Okay. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. So let's watch Symone, who feels like she could tell black men not to speak unsolicited, be told by a white man to not speak unsolicited. Okay, let's just rewind that. Symone who tells black men to shut up. Let's just rewind that again. And then she calls him sir. Let's hear it again. Okay, Symone who tells black men not to speak unsolicited. Okay, I think we get the point. Okay. So my point in this is Symone doesn't like to be told to shut up. What I really don't like about what Symone did is, number one, you don't have to like Luke. I'm not a big fan of Luke either. Luke is not exactly the pinnacle of Black manhood, okay? Luke has literally done things that have damaged the Black collective image on a wide scale. Look, I'm not perfect either, you guys, but seriously, I didn't have fame and celebrity, so I could just ruin the Black image with my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? On a global scale. Luke did, and he still heralds that part of his life, as we saw as early as January of this year. He was still boasting on that part of his life. So you don't have to like him. Doesn't change the fact that what he said was right. But moreover, how is she going to tell all of Black men not to speak unsolicited and throw out a cape for a woman who's literally like 25% Black? Are Black men not the leaders of our community? Just like she knew to call that white man sir after he told her to shut up, she should when it comes to dealing with Black men. And that's going to be my commentary on that. I will talk to you guys